What's up, guys? I'm the Nearsighted Gamer, and well, we made it. This is E3 is currently still going on, but all the press conferences are out of the way. We had the big three: Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, I guess, as well as Ubisoft, Bethesda, and EA. They had their own respective press conferences, and they showed off games and what's coming next for their companies. And I know I said that I was going to do a day one and day two recap just like I did last year, but I just wasn't able to. Although I did take notes, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give pretty much a rundown / impressions video of each conference, letting you know what I thought about what they did and how they did. Now, granted, there are going to be some things that I'm going to pass over and not going to mention because they don't interest me, and I also, since I don't play those types of games, I wouldn't have much to say as far as input unless I just talk about how good it looks or something like that. Things that don't interest me or that I don't plan on buying or even trying out, for the most part, you'll see me pass over. But I'll still make sure I give you guys a decent rundown and let you know just how it was for me and what I thought of the conferences. Alright, first up was Bethesda. Bethesda had their conference Sunday night, and they, of course, came out swinging. They had a big showing last year announcing Fallout 4 and that it would be coming out by the end of the year. Everybody loved that. They showed off plenty of things involving that game. But this year they started off with a trailer for one of their older games, which is Quake. Now, it looked good. This is an example of one of those I was talking about. The game looked good. I know anybody who's played older Quake games or is into Doom, which they also released earlier this year, will be excited about this. All I can say is I'm happy y'all got Quake back. I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm pretty sure with the success of Doom that it's going to be great, and that's pretty much all I can say regarding that. Yeah, I mentioned Fallout 4, and they talked about it. They talked about some of the new DLC that they had coming out for it. They showed a trailer for it. I didn't really pay attention. Fallout 4 is yet again one of the games that it's not, I'm sure it's great. It's just not for me. It doesn't fit my certain type. I have been trying to branch out to different types of games that I normally don't play, but I still don't see myself playing Fallout anytime soon. Fallout 3 wasn't interested. Fallout 4, nah. So anything having to do with this, I'm pretty much just going to pass on. But while they were talking about Fallout 4, the DLC for it, which they had Todd Howard doing, whenever he was finishing up what he was saying about that, he said something along the lines of, and yes, we know what you've been asking for, and we're working on it. To which they showed a comparison video, I guess you could call it a trailer, announcement trailer, that they were in the process of working on a remastered Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which is going to be called the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. Not remastered or anything, but Special Edition. It's going to enable you to do mods on consoles. All the DLC is going to be there, and I know a lot of people have been into it. I might even jump back into it. I played Skyrim for a couple of hours. Yes, a couple of hours. Probably even no more than 10. And it's cool. It's really deep, and I kind of felt intimidated by the game. if you want me to be honest. But you know, I would definitely want to see how everything looks now. I know the style of the game was meant to look gritty and older like that, but it could definitely benefit from new coat of paint, upgraded graphics. That could be enough to get people to dive in and just to go experience the world. Not necessarily want to play through the whole game, do all the quests and everything, but to just go back into the world and go to familiar places and see how they look now, see what they've done to it, just to see how everything looks. Next up, they showed off another game that everybody had been waiting for and really wanting, which was Prey. Everybody thought that maybe we'd get a sequel to Prey and have Prey 2, but they didn't. I guess it's a reboot, or they're just making a new game and simply calling it Prey right off the bat. The trailer for that was pretty cool. It seemed like this guy was having a type of Groundhog Day issue where he kept repeating the same day over and over. And as time went on, things got bad. Aliens invaded, guns were brought out, bullets were shot. The trailer looked great. I'm definitely curious to see how it plays and to see if what am I talking about? Of course the community is going to jump on this. It's Prey, and from what I hear, Prey is a very, very sought after IP that everybody wants back. They talked about Doom a little bit, which has been very successful for them, and they talked about the DLC, what they have coming, how people have jumped on the whole Snap map, I think is what it's called, where you can create your type of maps. They talked about how you're going to get DLC with new demons, new guns, stuff like that, and they announced that you get to play. You could go at that moment and download a demo for it and play the first stage. I have it. I'm gonna try it out, and I'll probably make a video showing me playing that. So stay on the lookout for that. They talked about Elder Scrolls Online and the Dark Brotherhood, which is finally coming to consoles. It's been on PC forever, from what I hear. But yeah, it's finally coming to consoles. The trailer looked cool. Everybody liked the Dark Brotherhood. It was a really cool sect that you could get involved in on the Elder Scrolls. But Elder Scrolls Online is bringing that to consoles now. So everybody on consoles who didn't have it on PC will be able to jump into that and see what's up. They even took a shot at VR. They announced that they're going to be, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be for the entire game, but they announced that certain parts are, pretty much they announced that Doom and Fallout 4 will have, I guess the best way to put it is, like VR experiences. You'll be able to experience the world, play small parts. I don't know how much, but you'll be able to play in the world of Fallout 4 and Doom in VR, which even the most crappiest game can be made at least a little bit better by VR. I'm not saying Doom or Fallout 4 are crappy by any means, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nice to see that they're actually, not jumping on it, but, trying it out, seeing what they can do. And then they went to a game that they announced last year and that we hadn't heard much about until now, which is Dishonored 2. Now, I played the first Dishonored, and I was really liking it. I started out, it was great, the powers were cool, the whole concept, and the story had me intrigued, the intro of it and everything. But as the story went on, it kind of fizzled out. You didn't really learn anything, nothing was told. I mean, I know if they're planning on like a trilogy or a franchise, they won't want to give away too much. But you really didn't see anything. It just ended up being, it was pretty good gameplay. But I mean, I felt that the story didn't go anywhere, didn't give you enough to want to come back. So that's why by the end, I was just wanting to beat the game just to beat the game, which I did. It was fine. Anyway, they talked about 2, which now you'll be able to play as Corvo or Emily, which is his daughter. Spoiler, sorry. But yeah, you can switch, well, you can't switch, but you can pick between one or the other of them, and they both have, I think they share some of the same powers, and they have different powers as well. And they showed a gameplay demo from Emily's point of view of her playing. They showed off some new powers like the domino power, where you can link enemies, and if something happens to one of them, it'll happen to the ones that are linked to it. Don't know how many can be linked, but it seemed pretty cool. And they showed off, what else was it they showed off? They showed off this shadow strike or shadow crawl or whatever ability, which, you know, the best way to describe it is you just crawl along the floors of shadow and attack enemies in very gruesome ways. You still have your typical gun gameplay. You have your blink. They talked a lot about how, you know, they wanted to make the stages more vertical. So instead of just going around, you can go up and around and have different paths. Still the same, you know, you can play it stealthily, you can go all out, you can do what you want to do. And honestly, I really did not care about Dishonored 2 at all. It's like, oh, they made a sequel. Cool. But now it has my interest. I'm not going to pre-order the special edition. I don't even plan on pre-ordering the game. But I want to play it now. It has my interest. The new powers that they have. What was that other power that they showed? Oh, they showed off a new power called Mesmerize, where you can cause the enemies to be, you know, kind of like stunned for a minute, and where they won't notice you. You can just go past them, bypass them. Yeah, that was alright and fine. But there was one more, but I can't remember what it was. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is that I'm interested in the game now. It has my attention. I'm not super hyped, but I want to play it, and I actually want to play the game now. More so than I did before whenever they announced. I was like, huh, whatever. But yeah, for Bethesda, that was pretty much it. I think they did good. They also talked about the Elder Scrolls Legends card game that they have. It's more than likely going to be compared to Hearthstone, of course. It's one of those. It's a video game, card game that, you know, you can collect cards. I'm doing it myself now, just like Hearthstone, but it's in the Elder Scrolls universe. There's a single player campaign as well. We'll see how that works. And it's going to be out this fall, I think. I don't know the exact date, but yeah. Overall, I think this was a pretty good press conference. They showed what they had off. They elaborated on it. They talked about Fallout, new DLC for Fallout. Everybody was happy about that. Talked about Doom, what was going on with Doom. Showed that they were going to support it. They gave us a very in-depth trailer gameplay for Dishonored 2. So any questions about that were answered. They gave people a little bit of it so they could know what to expect. They had some surprises with Quake. Like some people kind of hoped for it. Don't know how many knew. But Quake came out. They did a lot of good things. They didn't really drop the mic like they did last year with Fallout, but I think that they were pretty successful. Okay, next is Ubisoft. Ubisoft is a company that like actually been doing very well. You know, they have multiple games coming out, usually a lot, and their press conferences usually tend to be, you know, very, you know, entertaining. They have musicians and artists there guest starring, and it's usually hosted by Aisha Tyler, which this year was the same as well. She's pretty cool. I like her. Sadly, I didn't watch the entirety of this press conference, so I only have a few things down, but I know of a couple of other things that were talked about that I'll mention as well. Where I started watching it was whenever they were showing the For Honor single player trailer, which we got. They talked about this last year, and they mainly focused on multiplayer. Nobody even thought about the single player, but they showed a single player trailer, and then they showed some gameplay, which looked very, very good. I was interested in it last year, and I got kind of worried because there hasn't been anything about it, since then. But they dumped a lot of information this year, and it looks pretty good. I'm just as excited about it as I was last year, if not a little bit more. They also announced Grow Up, which is a sequel to Grow Home, which was a game that was originally a PS Plus free game, and that's how I got it. I did a playing blind on it. If you hadn't seen it, go check that out. It's not my type of game. I played it for a while, and I could lose some time in it, but it's not my favorite game at all. I know people who really love it and love the exploration and all that, and how different and creative it is with the way it looks, and that's cool, but I could definitely be playing plenty of other things. Anyway, in this game, I think you're going to different planets. You're not limited to just one. They didn't really show much. It was just a really short trailer, and they came out talking about how much things had changed and how you didn't really need mom. Anyway, glossing over, Grow Up's coming out later this year. To those of you who like it, you know who you are. Trials of the Blood Dragon, which is supposed to be like, a fusion of the Trial series and a standalone DLC game. Blood Dragon. This one has the potential to do okay. Hope it does. Once again, the trailers look great. We'll see how it does with the characters and the execution. So that was that. Then they went to Watch Dogs 2. Didn't play the first Watch Dogs. Whole lot of controversy around that game. Showed the trailer, looked good. Then we realized that the trailer was just PC. It wasn't PlayStation 4. Game was delayed for like almost a year. Then it came out. Nobody cared at that moment. The hype was gone, and then the game wasn't good. So it did alright, I guess. Definitely didn't do as good as they thought it was going to do. But now we have Watch Dogs 2, where you're a new character, no longer born Aiden. You're this character Marcus, who is part of this group called Dissect. And, they're against trying to fight the man and all that. He's a hacker. There's way more things that you can do in this one. You have your drones, you have push on your phone. Everything's hackable just like before. And they showed a gameplay demo for it with Marcus sneaking inside, hacking his way around. It seemed really good. I wasn't into the first one, so I'm pretty much like everybody else. Everybody's skeptical. They're like, oh, it looks good, but we don't know, Ubisoft. You're gonna do the same thing you did to us last time. Fool us once, shame on you. Fool you twice, shame on me. But maybe they're not fooling us this time. Maybe not. There is one thing I need to point out. There's one of his friends. I can't even remember his name. So dude has a mask and goggles, and his glasses change to different emoticons depending on what he's saying and his emotions, like winking and all that. It's pretty cool. I like that guy already. If not just to see him more, I like if he got like some DLC, like that guy from Watch Dogs 1 guy. It'd be cool to like play as him or be involved with him. The game hadn't even came out yet, and I'm already talking about DLC. But anyway, I'm sure there will be DLC involving that guy. I really hope so. Can't remember his name. What else? Oh yeah, they showed a new IP called Steep, which is about snowboarding or skiing. It's a skiing game, but what's cool about it is, you can go to different points. It's very community based, I think. Cool. They spent a lot of time talking about it, which you would think that I would know a lot more. but it didn't catch my attention. I watched it. It looks good, as always. It sounds good. It's a good concept, a good idea. We'll see how it pans out. Something that I didn't see, but later on did research on, they talked about the new South Park game, The Fractured Butthole. It comes out this year. I'm sorry guys, I don't have my dates like I did last year. I had a lot going on, so I don't have any specific dates for you. That's my bad, but it's coming out this year. And from what I've seen, you also get the Stick of Truth. I think when you pre-order it, which if I think it's the it's got to be, you know, for this gen, the remastered version. Which if that's true, then heck yeah, because the Stick of Truth, I cannot stress. Like, okay, if you're a South Park fan for sure, even a little bit, you definitely need to play the Stick of Truth. If you're not a South Park fan, I'm pretty sure that the humor could carry you through. It's great. It's like playing an entire season of South Park, and it looks just like the TV show. It's crazy. But in this one, you know, your superheroes, cool and friends. They showed off a story trailer, and I think they had some gameplay in another trailer. But yeah, that game is on my list, even if just on the laurels of the Stick of Truth. If it's even like half as funny as the Stick of Truth, I can't wait, man. It's gonna be great. I might even pre-order just so I can have the Stick of Truth. But yeah, seriously. And once again, didn't see the whole conference. I know I probably missed something else. There's probably some shooter in there that I missed. Yeah, sorry again, peoples. I'm not as prepared as I was. I did watch it all and enjoy it all, and then checking videos and all that. But I'm not as detailed as I was last year. I know there's some things I missed. If there is, you know, I'm pretty sure you can go check them out, see if you like them. But I wrote down things that I liked, and also things that, you know, stood out. It's going to be pretty popular. So yeah. With that being said, I'm the Nearsighted Gamer, and you saw this stuff. So subscribe to my channel, please. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, sorry, at Nearsighted Gamer, GAMR. Like my Facebook page, facebook.com/nearsightedgamer, all straight through. I guess that's pretty much it. And just because we're here once again, I have to say it. E33! As always, be excellent to each other. Later, peeps.